this is Miriam from the Skitsy Cookie channel, and this is my wrap-up video of the comic books that I've read in June. And I've read quite a lot of books, so I'm just gonna start. The first one that I read was Night of the Living Deadpool, and yeah, it's Deadpool and it's zombies, so that's really nice. And the coloring is really cool because it's all black and white except for Deadpool, that's in red. So that I liked, but I don't know. I think I like the Daniel Way's version more because that's more fun and more like I like Deadpool's inner monologues and stuff, and this one didn't have that as in the same way. So I still liked it, but yeah, that version is better, I think. And then I read Rat Queens Volume 3, and I'm glad that they changed the artist to now it's Fowler? Tess Fowler? Yeah, I'm bad at names. Anyway, I like the art in this one. So I like the original art is best, but this is still like good quality standard, and I like the colors and everything. So I'm really happy that it's starting to be as good as the first volume. And yeah, I love these characters, and I think the story is interesting and exciting, and yeah, I love this series. And then I read All New X-Men Volume 2, and that as well it's great art. It's pretty, and it's like, yeah, can't complain at all. So that was cool. The only thing about this series though is I think it's a bit hard to follow. I don't know why, but I think some, like the structure of the pages or something, that just I kind of lose focus, and I have to reread it sometimes. So that I think is a bit annoying. But other than that, I like the story, and I'm definitely gonna continue to read this series. And then I read what I thought was the last one in a series, and the conclusion of Mind the Gap. But Volume 3 was not the last one. I think there is a Volume 4 coming out, but I'm not sure. It hasn't had any Volume 4. I don't think there's no release date or anything, and this isn't that of a new series, so I'm not sure. So it's a bit annoying when this is like a mystery series and you want to know all like the end of everything, but then you don't get a conclusion. So we will see if I will pick this up again, because we don't know if there will be a Volume 4. So yeah, a bit disappointed in that. But and then I read Batman, the Scott Snyder New 52 series Volume 2. Didn't like this one as much as I did Volume 1. I like the Batgirl series a bit more. The art is still cool and still good, and the story is still good, so I'm going to continue reading it. But yeah, I am not my favorite Batman volume, no. And then I read a series that is a favorite of mine, and that is a Rumble Volume 2. The art is just amazing. I love the creepy characters, and I love the unique kind of style for all the characters, and the setting and the colors, and the story is good and interesting. And yeah, I really recommend this series. It's such a unique kind of style that I love. And after that, I've read The Beauty Volume 1 for my comic book club. And I think the covers for all the issues, and this cover for this trade paperback, for this paperback is just so gorgeous. And the style inside isn't as good as the covers, because the covers is just gorgeous, but it's still a cool, like kind of clean style. And I really like the fact that all the people that have the disease have sort of a glow. Like you can see which ones has the disease and who doesn't, even if like you can see that person has the disease because they're like extra pretty, but you can also see it sort of on the glow. And I think that's cool. And yeah, I enjoyed this first volume. It's an interesting story. It wasn't what I was expecting it, because I thought it would like take place in high school or something like that, and that the people would be younger. But it's you're following two detectives, and they're like trying to figure out why people with the disease are starting to die. So it's an interesting read, and I will continue to read this series. And then I read iZombie Volume 2. I like this one a lot better than the first volume, actually. I think I like the art better. It's still not my favorite style, and the colorings are still not my favorite, but for some reason I think I enjoyed this a bit better this time. And yeah, I still think that Ellie is so cute, and her in her like 60s and 70s kind of style and clothes. It's so cute. So I think I'm going to continue reading this series and reading volume 3. But I'm not sure. I'm not in a big hurry to continue with the series. And then I read a Swedish series, a comedy series that's called Lilla Berlin. This is the 4th volume, and I can show you some of the artwork so you can see how it looks. She has a really special kind of style that I think really fits the theme of the comics. It's a strip comic. I think it's the same. I think it's called that in English as well. But it's like short sketches of fun stuff, of like everyday normal stuff that we Swedes and probably a lot of other countries do as well. And it's like pop culture references and stuff. It's a fun read. I really like this series. And then I read another book that was also for my book club, and that was Preacher, the book 1. So it's volume 1 and volume 2, I think. I don't like the art style at all. I think it's quite ugly, actually, to be honest. It's more old school, and I don't like the characters' design. I think they're ugly, and yeah. This wasn't really a big hit for me, and I know that a lot of people love Preacher, but for me it just didn't really work that well, because mostly I think because of no, not really. Well, a lot of the reason why is because of the artwork that I don't like, but also because I didn't really find any character that I connected with, or that I really cared about that much. I mean, all the stuff with his grandma and all that kind of creepy psychological stuff, that was interesting, and I really thought that was exciting, and that was just heartbreaking. But other than that, I don't know. No, not really my cup of tea, but I think it's sort of exciting still, so I might pick up book 2. But yeah, all these kind of old school stuff doesn't really work for me, I guess. So yeah. And after that, I read The Walking Dead volume 17. And oh my god, this was heartbreaking. I cried when I read this. I read it on a train, and it was a bit like this. It was a bit embarrassing to sit like reading in public and then like sitting like this, like crying, because it's a horrible read, but a good read. Like all of the Walking Dead, really. I think I've tried to every Walking Dead volume, and it's really exciting, because you don't know who's gonna survive and who's not gonna survive and all that stuff. So I'm not gonna film anything inside for obvious reasons. I don't want to spoil anything, but a great series, and I love this one, even though it was heartbreaking. And then I read a horror series, and that is The Strain Volume 1. I think the covers are just gorgeous. I mean, the colors and everything is just so, the details is wonderful. And then all the, like, inside, it's not the same style as the covers, but it's still good, and you get that kind of horror feeling. I think it's a good style, and I like the colors and everything. The story is good, but I don't know why, but I don't really connect with any of the characters, so I don't remember that much of the series. I still have a few volumes, and I think I will probably finish the whole series because it's still good. It's just not the best I've read, but yeah, the covers are so good. So I think I'm gonna continue with the series, and I'm not sure when I should pick up and watch the TV show. If I should finish after I've read them all, or if I should read them at the same time. What do you guys think? Because I don't want to get like spoiled of the series, and I don't want to get spoiled in the TV show, and I don't want to get them mixed up too much. So maybe I will just continue and finish reading this and then watch the series. I don't know. Yeah, and then I read a manga series that a lot of people love, and that is One Punch Man Volume 1. But I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all, actually. I don't get the fuss. What's all the fuss is about? Because, I don't know. It's just, what's the point of a guy that can just punch his enemies in like one punch, and then that's it? Because he's the One Punch Man? I don't know. The artwork it's cool. I can't complain that much. It's not really my favorite, but it's good. But the story, no. So I think I'm gonna sell this copy, because yeah, this didn't do it for me, I'm afraid. And then I read another horror comic, even though it's not Halloween or anything, but I like horror, so why not? And that is Outcast Volume 1. This one is also a TV show now. I haven't seen the TV show, but I think I probably will. Yeah, I think the artwork is great. I like the style. It's quite dark, and like the thick lines, and yeah, I think it's fitting with the theme. And yeah, I think the story was really interesting, and I really got connected with the character and like everything that was going on, and I really like this series, actually. So I'm definitely going to pick up soon. I'm going to pick up Volume 2 and probably Volume 3 when I'm at it. And yeah, I highly recommend this one. It was really good. And then I read another Deadpool comic, and that was Deadpool MAX. I think this is Volume 2, actually. I got it for a really cheap price, so I thought, why not? The art style is just so different. Not really my cup of tea, but it's still fun to have something this unique and different. And then like in the middle, it has more of this kind of modern usual style. So that was good, but the story and the comic and I don't know, the quotes and stuff, and I don't know, the jokes, no. I didn't think it was funny. I thought it was just sexist and boring, and yeah, it didn't do it for me. I was hoping that it would be extra funny and extra gory, and I don't know, that would be fine. But this was just, no, didn't work for me. So I think I'm gonna stick to Daniel Way's collection and read that kind of Deadpool, because I like that one. But this, no, it wasn't my favorite at all. And then we have a series that I read like every month, and I talk about and I love, so it's not a big surprise that I read Invincible Volume 6, the deluxe nice edition. It was good. It's quite a lot of stuff that I get a bit bugged about, but it's still a really good series, and I'm really like enjoying reading a series that's this long, and I've read this far, and like, you sort of know the characters, and that when stuff is happening, it's really exciting. And I really, really love all the gory stuff. I mean, some of this stuff is just so messed up. Yeah, it's so much blood and stuff. So don't know what to say, but it's just, I think it's so much fun. It's colorful and a superhero comic, but still this much blood. It's just, yeah, I think it's messed up in a good way. So continuing to loving this series, I have one more book at home, so I need to buy more. Yeah, and then the last one that I read was another superhero comic, but a Swedish one, and really different from all the rest that I read, and that was Igår, idag och imorgon blir aldrig mer som förr. So yeah, it's in Swedish. The style is it's like it's the same kind of world and the same kind of characters that sort of connect, but I think it's sort of standalone like novels or short stories, and different artists for each story. And I really like that concept that it was standalone but not standalone, because I don't really like short stories usually, because I want to get connected more. And if it's a short story, I don't really, I don't know, it's hard for me to get in, like, to really care. I don't know why, but that's how I work. Some of the style was good, some of the style wasn't really my cup of tea, but in general, I think this was a really good and fun read, just because it was so weird to read superhero comic in Swedish that was actually a Swedish series. And so I'm really glad that I read this one, and I recommend it for all of you Swedes out there. Yeah. And that was the last one, and that was all I read in June, and I'm continuing to reading a lot in July, so that's for another video. And that was it for today. Bye.